podcast.
Hey
Hey
guys,
guys.
we welcome you to our My Hero Academia special plus ultra.
Plus Ultra.
So yeah, in this episode, we want to talk only about My Hero Academia and about everything. We watched this series since long, and we have a lot to talk about it, and we'll go on with that. But first of all, we want to say thank you for the many views we received in our last videos. It's really awesome. We really appreciate it. We love you so much for that. Thank you for that. It's really cool. And also, we got more subscribers and going there in the right direction. Love it. It's really cool to see that people like what we are doing and makes us happy. So, yeah, hopefully this episode will be the same.
Yeah, thank you guys. I think your support is completely very important for whatever we do here. So keep watching us and yeah, send us your suggestions or questions or anything. Feel free to contact us. We're completely open.
Exactly. And yeah, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all these social networks, and right here below, and stuff like this.
Yeah, click the what is the bell and subscribe and comment and like and whatever it
Write
is.
us your telephone number so we can call you
Yeah,
and say we like you.
yeah. Come at your door and say hi.
We will put our address in the
Yeah.
description. Um, and yeah, like to keep traditions. So first of all, Lucas, what did you watch in this last weeks since our latest episode? Besides the normal season, or did you watch something or not?
Yeah, I did. I besides the regular season stuff, I finished with the trilogy of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, not Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, the Heaven's Feel trilogy. I watched the second and the third movie last week, and man, it's really good. It's really good. I so basically I watched Fate Stay Night, the original Fate Stay Night and the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works like a long time ago, and I also played the visual novels. But the Heaven's Feel was the only arc I didn't touch the in the visual novel and in this trilogy because the first movie is I think already like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but I didn't watch. I wanted to have all the three of them, everything complete to watch from the start to end. So, and it really surprised me because it's as good as people say, because people say that a lot of people, there is a popular opinion that Heaven's Feel is the best route of the Fate Stay Night series, the main series actually. So, and I really think it is actually. Yeah,
Nice.
I think it
Okay.
kind of is because maybe if the original arc was better animated, the Fate Stay Night, the Saber route, like the first arc. If it was better animated, I think it could really be the best one out of the three of them. But yeah, Heaven's Feel has a really good animation. It's really gorgeous. It has a lot of action scenes. It's almost for example, the third movie is up. I think the whole movie is just like fight scenes and stuff and cool scenes and yeah, it was great. It was really good. I can just recommend you to watch. Well, if you are already into the Fate series, if you are not in the Fate series, don't start through the Heaven's Feel. Seriously, you will not understand a lot of stuff. But yeah, the whole Fate series is really enjoyable. So if you want to start a really get into a really big universe, I definitely in a good universe actually I think I can only recommend you, and I think you recently started with the Fate series, right? Many.
Yeah, I'm kind of the beginner here, but I asked you for some help and also Svet and got some information how to start.
Yeah.
And also in the Trash Taste podcast, they talked about it, which kind of made me interested in it. And yeah, I only watched Fate Zero so far, but I really liked it. I was surprised. I thought it's more like I don't know, when I heard like about it, it sounded more like it's like Digimon just with some mythological heroes or something, heroes from the history, um, like, and in the end it felt to me also often a lot like, for example, Death Note, like a lot of strategy and strategic thinking, and also a lot about the heroes being like proud and having like trying to do fair play with each other and like fighting open fight, while the humans are kind of trying to trick each other and also guide their heroes in a kind of way where you're like, no, why are you doing this? They really just want a fair fight, and you just do it like that so you win. Yeah, that was really interesting. I also started coming to that point. I also even continued now with Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, and so far I have to say I like it a bit more than Fate Zero. But let's see where it goes. I'm only at 5 episodes, so yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
yet.
the Unlimited Blade Works, I didn't watch the anime series,
Hmm.
but I played the visual novel and I watched the movie, which is also from Studio Ghibli. Because the original Fate Stay Night, the one that everybody hates and say that it is really bad and bad animated and blah blah blah, but I kind of like it, has a place in my heart. So they made the Fate Stay Night original series, and they also made the movie for Unlimited Blade Works. This one I watched it, but the new series from UFO Table I didn't. But I also played the visual novel, so I know the the whole plot,
Mm.
and it's also a really good arc. I think the whole Fate Stay Night is really one kind of mark for visual novels and for everything. The
Yeah.
really Type Moon really did a great job in the first Fate Stay Night series.
Yeah, I think what also brought me really to watching Fate was also that UFO Table was working on it. So I mean, I didn't watch the old stuff like you did,
Hmm.
and the UFO Table stuff is crazy. It's already showing exactly the awesome quality of animation like Demon Slayer continues now. And yeah, I can just tell you, just watch also Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, even if you only watch the Dean stuff already. Do it because it's awesome. The animation is really, really great. It's really cool. I love it. I really, for me, that's also the reason why I think currently I like it a bit more than Fate Zero. Even so, Fate Zero
Hmm.
also has already awesome animations, but so far, yeah, I think it's also like you have no more connections, right? Because it's continuing kind of. So to explain the
Yeah,
Fate series is kind of complicated, but you have basically a beginning point, and then you have like different possibilities where it could go to, like different timelines, kind of, which are basically
exactly.
the same, would be at the same time, but it's different timelines. And because of that, when you watch the first one, which is Fate Zero, kind of, then you already have a connection to the characters, or it's at least relatives to the characters which were in the series before. So yeah, a bit
Yeah, just
like watching Boruto, I guess, after watching Shippuden, and you have
yeah.
also the kids there, and they are like, the parents too. Yeah.
Yeah, just a disclaimer for all the Fate fans out there. This is a channel focused on anime, and I know that when you ask for where should I start with Fate, so the real answer and the right answer is go read the visual novels. But in here, this is an anime channel, so we are talking about perspective for anime watchers. So yeah, really, if you want to start, the Fate Stage Zero is the starting point, and then you can go over to the Fate Stay Night series. You can maybe consider watching the Studio Dean stuff, or if not, just jump over to Unlimited Blade Works. It's a bit of a problem. There's something I don't like, and I want to talk about this with you after you finish Unlimited Blade Works, because I don't want to spoil it. So
Okay.
I'm going to ask you about your experience of in a certain plot part of the anime. So that, yeah, maybe this didn't affect you at all, or something. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand. I perhaps have an idea, but let's see. Okay. So what did I watch? Wait, I would just first put this. Ah,
Yeah, for
surprise! It's me.
introduction.
It was not the superhero. Um, oh, this is so annoying. The thing. How can superheroes do that?
Just protect their face, right?
Yeah. um, yeah. So what I watched was SSSS Gridman.
Ah,
And I had last this week. I had vacation, so I had a bit of time, and I really watched the whole series this week, and I liked it a lot. I mean, I'm in general a Trigger fanboy, so I love Trigger stuff, and I know they don't have like the craziest stories or best stories or so on, but they kind of just don't know how to do really great characters, and also the animation for me is always um, where Trigger is kind of shining. And this is interesting because in SSS Gridman, there is a lot of 3D animation in there, which basically was pulling me a bit off why I never started watching it. Um, the reason why I kind of started watching it was because I'm collecting some figures, and there is two really cool figures of the two girl main characters of the series, and they looked so nice that I was interested in what is this series about. And I saw it's Trigger, and I love Trigger, so I was like, okay, cannot be bad. And I was surprised. I liked it a lot. It has so the story. Um, it's basically the main character, a guy. He just wakes up and he doesn't know what happened. He wakes up at a place of another girl, and she says she found him outside. He just fell asleep, and they are also classmates, but they never talked before with each other. And this girl, her mother, she has a shop which is selling old stuff, and there is like an old PC, and in this old PC, he sees this robot called Gridman. He's an intergalactic police officer, something like this, and nobody else can see him so far. And then suddenly, monsters appear, and he kind of, yeah, like it from any mecha or Power Rangers even. Kind of fusions with the robot, gets sucked into this PC, and then he comes out in the real world as this robot machine. I will spoil just the ending of the first episode. So if you really don't want to know anything and you're now already sold, yeah, robots, then don't. Then we will put this in the description for you. But the interesting thing was there was then this kaiju attacking the city, and he was fighting as a robot against it. And this kaiju destroyed a lot of the city, and there was a big fight and so on. And after the fight, the next day when they go to school, the school was exploding, people died and so on. And when they went to school, the school was fine again. So nothing happened. And that was kind of interesting. I didn't expect that there will be like something like this interesting part in there. And from that on, it becomes more and more surprising and interesting, and also the kind of villains and so on. It's really, really cool. I don't want to really spoil a lot. What I also found out after watching it is basically that there is, I think SSS Gridman is already, or Gridman itself is some Japanese kind of kaiju series. So what you like these old series you had where you have like people in suits playing Godzilla and fighting against others like Ultraman or stuff like that. And so with this series, it's kind of a homage to all these stuff. So if you're into that, then most likely you will even find a lot of relations to these series in this, which I didn't see because I didn't watch that many of those kaiju series movies. And yeah, it's really cool. I really cannot say too much about it because there is a high spoiler territory. There is definitely parts you don't expect, and it's at some point becoming also more like thinking about what is really going on here, and how will they like make this possible, that this what is happening in this world is happening,
Hmm.
and so on. And yeah, it's Trigger, so Trigger is kind of crazy.
Over
they
the top, yeah,
they
always.
create their own
Always.
rules and are always over the top. And yeah, I really liked it, and I'm really happy now to get the figures. So, so technically,
So you watch it only to buy the figures, right? To
no,
have
I
an
bought the
excuse to buy
figures.
the.
I bought the figures before because
Ah,
they
okay.
are really awesome. But yeah, they will arrive, I think, next year. I don't know. Right now, figure market is kind of crazy. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're interested in figures, let us know. We can definitely also talk a bit about that. I have a lot of background in that, I would say.
Yeah. Did you see that there is a sequel for Gridman in this season?
Yes, I also
It's
started
Dynasty
watching
one.
that. I also
Okay.
watched the first two episodes, but it's there is, at least so far, no characters of the old one. So I think it's kind
Ah.
of still, it's a bit like, how should you say, like Zelda, right? You have like in Zelda different Zelda games, but it's kind of always the same story. I have the feeling
Hmm.
it's kind of like this also with the SSS Dino Zone. And so far I didn't like it as much as I liked SSS Gridman.
I see. That's cool.
Yeah. So then let's start with the My Hero part. And
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing for me, why I wanted to do this My Hero special as the first special we do, is at least for me, we kind of have a background with My Hero, at least from the first time I got to know Lucas, or know that Lucas likes animes and so on a lot, when he started in the company. Um, it was kind of through My Hero Academia also. At least I didn't watch My Hero Academia at that point when he started. And we talked about it, and he was kind of at that moment watching it a lot and was always telling me like how cool it is and so on. And also I traveled then to Japan for 1 month, and I asked him like, hey, if I could get some stuff there in Japan, what would you like to have and so on. He was saying, yeah, I could see if I get a shirt for My Hero Academia, which I sadly didn't get because there was really not so much stuff at that point in Japan. Even was kind of the beginning of My Hero, and there was not so much stuff. But also after I came back from Japan, he told me, I asked him like, hey, what should I watch next? Because I knew already he has like he watched so many animes, like he's the best source of information for me to find out which animes I could watch. And he was always telling me, yeah, try out My Hero. And it was then, yeah, and then I started, and the result you see behind me. So I liked it a lot, and yeah, we kind of have this background together, and we're also right now watching together the new series, and yeah.
Yeah, I knew you like it, like shonen anime and yeah, stuff with cool fight scenes. So I knew that it's a big possibility that you would like My Hero Academia. So that was really a staple anime that you should watch. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think that's also what I like the most about My Hero, like you say. It's really, the fights are awesome. The ideas with the abilities. I mean, it's kind of like X-Men, kind of, right?
Hmm.
But
You can
but
definitely
it's,
make a parallel.
yeah, but it's way more interesting. I mean, the abilities are way more diverse and crazy compared to, and sometimes perhaps even more useless
Yeah.
compared to X-Men. But still, the characters then show how they can use these abilities, and that's kind of
Yeah, and
awesome.
it's a different kind of setup, right? Because it's like everybody in the world except and has those powers, and the exceptions are the humans that don't. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's kind of the opposite setup, right? Because
yeah,
in X-Men, it's like the mutants are like bad guys, and they are not considered by society as something good. And here it's
Exactly.
the opposite. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yes. Yeah, and the animations is awesome. And I mean, after you watched 4 seasons, then of course it's also the characters, which you relate to at some point. Um, and I think especially in the beginning, it's really more like Deku, the character, like being the one who has no superpowers in this world where everybody has superpowers, and you can really identify with that.
Hmm.
Like wanting to
Definitely.
be a superhero, and then even being in this world where everybody is a superhero and you're the only one who is not. That's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of a story that is explored by a lot of shonen animes, and it's something that is really like dragging you into whatever story is, which is the boy or the guy who has no powers and who feels like shit, and then suddenly he gets a superpower, or he discovers that he can do a difference in the world, or however it is, by superpowers or whatever. And then we watch the whole journey of this guy from zero to hero, really. So yeah, it's really compelling.
Yeah, I'm really curious how long this journey will be, because it right now it feels really like we
Yeah,
still
because
didn't move quite far
yeah,
in this
because and
journey.
especially because in the first season, like the introduction is, this is the story of how I became the biggest hero of the world, or something like this. So it's really
Yeah,
something you could expect. You really should be expecting
yeah,
from
really.
the.
Yeah, what I so like the animation is really cool. It's kind of so special compared to other animes. I always have the feeling, because they try to put these kind of comics things in really in the pictures, and Bones is they're doing a really great job. And yeah, it's the Full Metal Alchemist studio. So Full Metal Alchemist was also already cool, but they from this I think they changed the style also really nice for fitting to My Hero Academia.
Yeah, and it's not only on the, like in the normal scene, also the fight scenes are completely really good animated. There are some arcs like where you have the fights, and I think we'll talk about this later. And well, those are really like crazy. Seriously, every single fight scene. So the animation is also taking stuff from the good, because the manga is also really good drawn. So it's taking everything that's good in the manga and bringing to a next level by putting whatever you can in the visual media that you're watching. So
Are you reading the manga currently?
no, I don't read the manga, but I skimmed through, like, I think the first 40 chapters or something like this. But
Mm.
then I stopped. I was like, okay, I'm only watching. I'm only going to watch this anime, not reading. I don't want to. Yeah, this is really something I should watch, not read. Maybe
Yeah.
later I can read and then hey, see, hey, there is some difference here and there. But yeah.
Yeah, the only time when I was reading the manga was after the third season. I was so curious what will happen in the next parts that I was at least reading like 1, 2, 3 chapters of the manga before the fourth season got released. But then I also
Uh,
stopped and was like, I'd rather watch it than read it. And yeah, that's also brings me to a bit like an kind of issue I have in My Hero, but I think it gets more visible if we talk about like the different seasons,
mhm,
and then I kind of can explain what I mean about
mhm.
where My Hero, at least for me, has like these some issues where it's just compared to other animes kind of lacking, in my opinion, at least. So yeah, the first season, like you said, the first season, I think it was really awesome. It was really short also. It only had, I think, 12 or 13 episodes, something like that.
Yeah, it was, I think, 13 episodes.
Yeah. And it was basically the story how Deku came to this academy. You got to know all the pupils there. And then only in the end, they got attacked by this Nomu, right? That was,
Mhm.
I think, the end of the first season, if I remember it correctly.
Uh, Yeah, so the first season is about his entrance to the academy, right? So
Yeah,
the
and then yeah,
there
during
is
one
the
of these lessons when they there was this Nomu attacking them, and that was the first time that you also saw All Might kind of struggling, and they had to help him.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think that
and
was the end.
so this is like the first few episodes, right? Where All Might gets attacked by the Nomu, and then Deku comes and no, it's not the Nomu, it's
No,
a
no, no.
villain.
I mean in the end, there comes this Nomu and it attacks them. Where they
Ah, in the
are
end of
in
the
this.
season, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the end,
Yeah,
they get
right.
attacked by this. And then the second season was this tournament already between everybody, kind of, which was really awesome. But there you see already, it's a typical shonen, right? First one is trainings arc, so a lot of training in the academy.
Yeah.
Second season starts with the tournament arc. Then comes the in the second season also. The second season was then longer, 25 episodes, I think, already, or 24.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also the Hero Killer Slain arc. And that one was for me the first one where I was really like on fire and was like, I love this. That's so cool. Because it started the first time showing you a bit more about the society also, and not only this training arc, they are in the academy and so on, but also more about how are heroes perceived, how do people feel who perhaps are not heroes, what does really matter to be a hero, like does really is it really okay to just take action and just hit somebody in the face because he's a bad guy, is that really what a hero should do, and so on. And Hero Killer's Lane was in that moment really one of my favorite characters there, and was kind of really making everything interesting. um
Yeah. Yeah, I think My Hero kind of hooked me up since the first season, and the second season was, I think it was even better than the first because of the whole training, not the training, tournament arc, and the fights were awesome. And I was like, wow, it's crazy. But then the third season came, and then I could understand more about the society and about everything that is around. So I think it's really a good. It's constructed like really as a in a perfect way. Because sorry, because they bring everything, they give you what you should like the yeah, sorry.
no problem. Don't die. What did you do? Is it a super villain? It's the air sucking
Yeah, it
villain,
was the
the
invisible.
vacuumer. Who's taking your air?
It was the invisible man. I don't choking me or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, by the way, the most useless character, Invisible Girl. But we'll come to this
Yeah.
later. What the fuck?
I was during the whole anime, I was imagining what can she do besides spying. That's I think that's the only
Yeah.
thing she's useful for. It's like spying into people. I
Yeah,
mean,
but she's still wearing clothes, so doesn't she cannot really
yeah, I
spy.
mean, she doesn't want to be naked. I don't know.
But okay, yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't
but
want to interrupt.
yeah, as I was saying, so there is the first two seasons, and they kind of bring they give you like a reason to keep watching, and they say make you say yeah, that's perfect and awesome. But I think you cannot sustain an anime for a long time without making you like know the whole world without like a good world building and stuff. And I think that's exactly what they did in the third season, and it was seriously good. It was really really good. As you said, the part with the stain, and when they put some like they show you the world through the villain's lenses. That was really
But
well
Stain was
constructed.
still in the second. It was the end of the second. So the first part, first 12 episode, I think, was the tournament, and then Stain. And yeah, that was the first time also for me where I said, like, where I really had the feeling like, okay, this has really potential. Before it was like, okay, tournament arc, but you never saw like what will happen if they get outside in the real world. And there it was the first time I thought it has potential. And then in the third season, it started again with a kind of training arc. They went to this forest camp, whatever, and then they got attacked by the villains. And then suddenly also the villains became more interesting, because then we had this group of these, how was their name,
The League of Villains.
the League of Villains, exactly.
Mhm.
I always I always think about the Phantom Troop when when I think about this, like the guys from Hunter x Hunter. They kind of feel like that, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
true.
especially in the third season when they were in their bar, like always sitting together and just talking nonsense and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, in the third season they started attacking, and you really had the feeling, okay, now a big story is building up. And then they even they took Bakugo, which was also really interesting, because Bakugo is kind of an really interesting character for me, definitely, because he's kind of a mixture between a hero and a villain, kind of. So he's kind of like this anti-hero more, and perhaps even more than Sasuke, because Sasuke is like so silent and he's just like saying nothing, but Bakugo is so really outgoing and crazy and whatever. He's just doesn't give a fuck at all what people think about him. And it was so interesting, but then to see that he still is like really a hero, and that they had no chance to get him into his team, into their team. So he was really like, no, never ever. And there you saw that Bakugo is kind of a different character than you had the feeling for him. Because I thought they're always like, I knew it from, for example, Digimon. There was the thing between Tai and Matt. Oh wait, that's the English names. How is it?
No, it's correct. It's Tai and
Is-
Matt.
I think Matt is different name in Japanese. They have different names.
Ah, really? Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
watch the
it's so
Japanese
stupid,
version, so
but
I don't know.
yeah. Anyway, people will understand. The one who has Gabumon as the Digimon. So because they were also best friends, kind of, but always Matt was a bit more like the kind of not nice guy and so on. And then in the end, they kind of became villains and then friends again. And I thought like, yeah, okay, they will do this typical thing. But no, Bakugo just said no. I will not be a villain, and he just totally acted against everything there, and that I really liked. That was surprising for me. I didn't
Yeah.
expect it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole construction of Bakugo's character makes you, when he's like kidnapped, you're like, okay, this guy could now become really a villain when they show him that he can use stuff in the other way, like, or something, because his personality, as you said, it's really like making him feel like a villain. And but I like that they kept him in the hero side, and they didn't do this, yeah, this kind of a common stuff of bringing a person in the light side and bring it to the dark side, because it kind of shows also that even people who has like not exactly the sense of justice from everybody, you can be like good characters. So I think that's an interesting taking of the character of Bakugo.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like the decision.
Yeah, that was definitely for me. Also, why the third season is my favorite season. Still, I would say, yeah, still definitely. Um, and yeah, and then in the end, you have this big fight between All Might and
And
one
all
for
for
all,
one.
all for one for all
Yeah.
for all.
Yeah.
Ah man, yeah, that was so awesome. That was
Yeah,
really
but
cool.
still, in my opinion, that was not the best fight of the third season. All
I
for
know
one.
what was your favorite fight, but you can say yourself. I remember we talked about that. But I love this final fight was so awesome when
Yeah, yeah. It's the Deco versus muscular guy, and in that arc is also really interesting because it's kind of it's bringing a completely unknown character and like a normal kid, and it kind of also shows you how the heroes also affect kids and normal people, because the kids is also like, okay, he has some stupid power, but he doesn't like want to be a superhero. He really hates superheroes. So, and it was interesting because Deku at that moment, when in the fight with the muscular guy, he was not Deku anymore. He knew that now he had to make the to be the hero character there. For that kid over there, he was a hero, and that's why he was able to overcome all the adversities and to bring himself to, I don't know, to another level to defeat that guy. So I think that that scene depicts what a hero is in its essence. That fight it depicts, and also the fight is fucking awesome. Seriously, it's so fucking awesome. I was watching when I was watching it at the first time. I was like screaming, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening here?" Seriously, it was. I was seriously hyped and pumped up about that fight. It was wow, it was so awesome.
Yeah, I think this is what the third season did so good. Also the fight, which is my favorite fight, the fight between All Might and
All for one.
All for One. Oh man, I can just keep in mind. Um, um, uh, it was also exactly about this because All Might, he was the big hero. Everybody was looking up to him. He is the number one hero, and he also had to kind of show weakness, even so for everybody he has to be the big superhero. And there was also a bit kind of in the first season then a bit sad because I mean, yes, they definitely were like, okay, we need a new number one hero, but it, I don't know, it didn't feel like too bad that he is gone. I think there should have been more happening because All Might is gone, like a bit more in the society and so on, more shown from the
Hmm.
society. I think that's also why the fourth season, and we come to that later, but where it then kind of becomes a bit strange, at least for me right now, my hero. Um, but until the third season, until this point, it was awesome, and I was really like, okay, cool. Now this one guy who has like everybody's watching him. He every wish of every person is he's the embodiment for it, and he has to like show that he's not the strongest in the world and has to put like his last energy in this fight to finish it, and afterwards he will just be gone kind of, yeah. And it was wow. Yeah, didn't see that. By the way, the other fight, the fight between the muscle guy and Deku, it reminded me a lot of the first arc of Naruto with Zabuza and the kid. So the because there was also this kid, right? And his
Haku.
father, yeah, his no, not Haku, the other, the boy. So the where Naruto and Sasuke and so the team, they were at this place of this older guy who wants to build this bridge,
Hmm.
and he also had a grandson. And this
Ah, okay.
grandson, he his father, he was building the bridge and he died, I think, during building the bridge, and that's why he's also was saying there are no superheroes and stuff like that. So it was a bit different, but he kind of it kind of really reminded me also. He was like the small guy, and Naruto also, for him, for Naruto, it was the first time where he saw he has to be the representative and showing this kind of,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
That's true. I didn't think about through those optics. Yeah.
Because they looked like for me, they looked even really not same, but
Like
really close
physically.
to each other. Yes, like from the height and hair color, I think also, and
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, it could be because what's the name of the mangaka from My Hero? I think it's Hiroshi, Hiro something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I
write
don't
it
remember
down
his name, but
exactly.
he already said that um Naruto was one of his inspirations
Ah,
of
okay.
of for his manga, because basically he the story of how My Hero started is how so he had a series, he was publishing a series and it was canceled, and then he started to gather ideas of how of what to produce next, and then he got to a one shot that he himself drew like a long time ago, and this one shot was called My Hero, and then he made the whole series, and he was searching for like references or what should he base himself on, and then he came about with My Hero Academia, and in one of the inspirations that he got to draw My Hero Academia was Naruto as well.
Oh,
So that was
nice. Yeah, then perhaps.
maybe that is a connection there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, yeah. I mean, also like in Naruto, you have the fight between Orochimaru and the Hokage, right? So this kind of could be also a bit like. But to be honest, I like the fight between All Might and All for One. Ha! I like that fight more even than the one in Naruto. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
Horikoshi, the name of the manga.
ah, nice. Okay. Yeah. I would put it anyway then somewhere in the the power of editing.
Yeah, wow. That's your quirk, or
Yeah, perhaps. You will see when the video is edited. What is my quirk? Will I put the whole time here an aura and super fun? Yeah, and then the fourth season came, and I don't know. I think in general it was not like really that popular. I don't know, but at least I had the feeling, at least for me, it was also not that great. Um, it was interesting. And I mean, there was overhaul, and there was this pins of where people lose their powers, or where you can give people powers, which was interesting, and in this society can change a lot if you can suddenly give people powers or you can remove it from them. I mean, Deku got powers from All Might, so that was really interesting. But other than that, I don't know. Also, the how was the name? Was it Kadi or Rin? I don't know what was her name.
the
Girl, the small
the
girl.
horn girl.
Yeah.
It is, I don't remember exactly as well.
Sometimes you have to Google stuff, right?
Yeah. The power of Google.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know this girl. She was it was okay that she was there, but I don't know, it felt a bit strange. Like also there were like new heroes coming, like added, and it just became too much. I rather would have liked it to be more focused on what happened in the third season and go from there and build up from there, and rather give the characters which already are there something more than starting a completely new story at thousands of new characters, new thousands of new villains. Also, suddenly the league was suddenly kind of gone. Like they
Uh-huh.
were like a bit there, like they were talking with Overhaul and so on, but I don't know. It felt like, yeah, that was really strange, like the fourth season. And then when you think, like, okay, now the first part is done and it had a great final. nothing to say about that. And also Miro, he was a kind of interesting character, and when he kind of lost his power, but seems he get it now back. So I don't know. That was also feels for me also a bit inconsequent where we are right now with him kind of getting his power back again. Yeah. After that, then suddenly we got this slice of life part kind of with the party, with the school party. And I don't know. I mean, I have no issue with that. I think it was cool to have the slice of life part and see a bit more about the characters and so on. But I just think, and I mean, that's not an issue of the anime. I guess that's the same in the manga, because as far as I know, they really, the anime represents the manga really perfectly. Sometimes even that's a bit more information about different characters, which don't have that much in the manga, so even less. But in it was just the wrong moment for me to put this part there. Like, yeah, we now all need a pause and we need to have to celebrate a bit after overhaul, and then they suddenly start doing this party while you were still thinking like, okay, there is All Might still gone. And then only in the last episodes, they start talking about who will be the new superhero number one and go with Endeavor and so on. But you don't hear, but what I didn't like about it is there was this talk about who will be the new superhero and so on, but you didn't hear anything anymore from the society kind of. So it kind of moved again totally away from the world, and you hear nothing about how is the society changing because of this, what do the people think and say and so on. This didn't happen anymore, and that was a bit, yeah, I don't know, I was a bit sad about that, because I think this way I would have liked the next seasons way more. And yeah, what's your opinion about the fourth season? That was for me kind of the issue with the fourth.
Yeah, the what you said about the response of the society, I think they tried to make this a bit seamless, like in this because there was this what was it named, this thing about whoever is more popular, the most popular hero, or this
Yeah.
prize and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of show the society's take on that in there, but I also agree that it was not enough. I think the what you say is completely valid, but I also have some issues with the fourth season. I think it was the weakest of all of them. Even I think it's even worse than the fifth season that is right now out, and the fifth season only has like 6 episodes or something.
Yeah.
And I think that the issue, because I also have issues with the first arc, which is like the best one of the fourth season, the overhaul arc, is that they don't. Okay, they introduce a lot of characters, as you said, but they don't focus on those characters, especially in Eddie. That's the name of the horse girl, is
Eri,
Eddie.
yes, right.
Especially with Eddie. Eddie is a very, very a character with a great potential, and I thought they would focus completely on her, especially because of the openings and stuff that she was being focused and everything. So she was kind of the main focus of the season. But after that was only like during they were showing like her suffering and stuff. I think this was a really good build up. But after that, there was like nothing else. They were
Yeah.
just okay. They rescued her, and then Miro lost his powers, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to be the responsible person for her," and then they're gone.
Yeah, okay, they said they make this party for her, right? So they want
Yeah,
to bring her there and want to show her that life is great and so on, which is a nice idea and so on, but I don't know if you need 12 episodes for that. But the funniest thing even for me is like, where is she now in the fifth season?
exactly,
It's just
exactly.
like the fourth never happened kind of the fifth season.
Yeah, she has so many potential, they could bring her to the main cast even. I don't know. Instead of the this new guy who's now like joining the academy, joining the hero course, it could be her joining the hero course. Why not?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
she's now kind of learning how to control her powers. I don't know, or something like this. But they really could bring her, I don't know, in any way to the fifth season because really she's a really good character. I was really excited when she was shown up and what she can do because she can be like a game changer for the whole society. And now she's just gone.
Yeah, I was also really, but to be honest, besides the last 3 episodes or 4 episodes of the fourth season, I think if you would watch the last 4 episodes of the fourth season, then you could watch the fifth season immediately. It's just
Yeah,
you will be perhaps by one character say like, who is he? But other than that, basically
yeah, it's
nothing.
skippable. You
Yes,
can
and that's
completely
that's
skip.
so sad after the third season, which was so fucking awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, yeah. And
And I think also they because if they wanted to like completely forget about those characters, why don't they make didn't they make a bold decision of killing the character? Like for example, Miro, it's Miro, right?
yes,
The
yes.
the, the guy, yeah, the boy who was like the strongest or whatever. And imagine if the guy was like really dying against Overhaul. That
Yeah.
would be completely a game changer for it could be
Oh
even
yeah.
a game changer for the whole like Deku and the whole hero core, the class 1A itself.
Mm.
But yeah, they said, okay, let's leave,
It,
let him alive and don't make whatever happened here completely doesn't change what's coming after. So it really feels like me that the first season is a complete isolate block that whatever happens before and after doesn't have an influence
yeah.
in the society or in the plot itself.
I don't remember exactly. Didn't the fourth season did he die? The
Yeah, there
partner
was
from All Might. I
yeah, the partner. His partner was dead. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he was
dying.
dead, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he
He's
was
one
also like a
character
character.
less.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's like really, I think my hero has this big issue. Like I said, we'll come to this when we go through the seasons. I think my hero really has a big issue that in every season they add 20 new characters, which seem to be important. And you can just not focus on all characters anymore. You already reached the point that it's not possible anymore. And now, even in the fifth season, they start going on with this tournament and the classes fight against each other again. And suddenly, in these other class, there is also 10 new characters, which you didn't see before. I love this manga guy, by the way. Oh, he's so cool. You know,
Yeah, yeah, right.
I want a figure of this guy with like a real boom coming out of his mouth. That would be so cool. I definitely will get none, but yeah, it would be so cool. Oh, this guy is so nice.
Yeah, it's really that's something that you cannot say about My Hero is that the guy is not creative. He's
Yeah,
taking those quirks like out of nowhere and like something that you cannot imagine. Basically, the guy is like just making. Okay, I'm just
yeah,
making a superpower with this. I'm going to make giant words appear out of nowhere. I mean, who would think about this? Seriously.
yeah. But perhaps he's a bit too creative because I guess it's like this, like, oh, I have this great idea for a superhero. I have to put him in there, and then you just have to add 20 new characters, right? Because you want to show them all. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it could be
I don't
like
know.
this. I think that the as we're talking about characters, I think that the this is a good and a bad point of My Hero Academia because so My Hero Academia is not anymore about Deku or All Might.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
about the class 1A. It's about the whole class. So I think he did a very, very good job of uh, making the characters in the class 1A like feel like real characters and give them a good backstory. So they feel you feel like connected to them and etc. So I think this is something that he did really good. except for some characters. Some characters I still don't know anything about it. Like the guy with a giant tail. I mean, who is that
Yeah,
guy? What can that guy really do? What's his potential? I don't know. I only know that
yeah,
he has a big tail and he fights with his tail or
yeah. Or the
whatever.
naval laser guy.
Yeah, the naval laser guy also.
I know he can be a disco ball. He's good for
Yeah,
that as
yeah.
well.
Even the Invisible Girl. I mean,
Yeah,
what do you know about the Invisible Girl?
yeah. She's
Nothing.
the
I don't
worst,
know any
really.
shit. I cannot even see her. I mean,
Yeah, she's
what
really
the
the
hell?
worst.
Yeah, some they are starting to introduce now. Like there was in the previous season, they were talking more about the guy who can talks with the animals, and but still there is a lot of characters in the still in the class 1A that I don't know anything about them.
Mm.
Like the sugar guy. The sugar guy, I think he doesn't have screen time. Like any scene, any episode, he doesn't have screen time. Do you know who I'm talking about? The sugar hush guy. It's
Sugar Hush guy. Wait, no, I have to think
see,
about it.
it's even he's in the main class. So
Ah, yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah, I know who you mean. Who becomes like super strong when he eats sugar. Yes, I
exactly.
remember.
So the
He was
big
in the
guy,
first
like the
season.
bulk guy.
He was in the first season. Then he was gone. He's the lunch of My Hero Academia. Even so, there is an invisible girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Alright.
there is room for improvement, but I still think he made a great job by making you invested in all the characters in the main class.
You
And
know,
not only focus on Deku. I mean, Deku is still the main character, but the anime is not about only him anymore.
mhm.
That's good. That's also I think it's
Yeah,
really good.
now that you said it, I really see more and more like comparisons to Naruto, because I think also the level, like the fighting level of those characters kind of differs a lot. So it's a bit like Sasuke and Naruto compared to Shikamaru, Choji, and so on. Like they were like for example in Naruto there was this moment where Choji was shining when they tried to save Sasuke, or Neji and so on. But other than that, the level, skill level and so on of Naruto and Sasuke was way higher, which would be here than Deku, I guess Deku, Shoto, and Bakugo kind of.
Hmm.
Yeah, say those three. I'm really
Yeah.
missing again, which I think would be not too hard to do in My Hero Academia. I'm really missing again like a really strong female character, which is a bit sad because I think there would be possibilities. I mean, it's cool to show that Ochako can do with her power some cool stuff. Also in the second movie, it was kind of she used it again in a quite nice way. But still, yeah, she doesn't feel strong at all. She really feels like she's just there. So Deku has a could be girlfriend kind of. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. There is also the frog Atsuyu.
I like
And
her so much, but also
yeah,
she's just not strong.
yeah, she's not.
Yeah, you see it in this fifth season again. So hard, yeah, that they characters have like such a different level. It's
Yeah,
sad.
she is like really popular, I think, in truth, with the fans of My Hero Academia, the frog character. It's Atsuyu, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Really popular, yeah. But you're right, I think there is not many strong female characters there.
yeah. It's a
There
bit
is there
sad.
is there is also Momo,
Yeah, Momo
but she's
is
also
kind of one of my favorite characters, to be honest, because she's a bit like the like Shikamaru, right? She has
uh-huh.
this
Yeah.
she has like this strategic ability and so on. Even so, I there, for example, also these power levels and sometimes the skills perhaps they are not defined enough. I mean, it's a superhero movie, so I will not complain about that. But sometimes I really have the feeling like I mean Momo, for example, she can put anything out of her breast, right? Like here she can
The
like
body, yeah.
body create anything. And then you really have to question like what she's sometimes creating, right? And using. I mean, it's cool that she's using that stuff. And it's, I mean, the reason is, yeah, if she does something bigger, then it will be harder for her and she will be exhausted or so on. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the fifth season now, she finally puts out a real weapon and tries to shoot with it. Even so, I think there she could have put out a better weapon than a gun,
Yeah,
which
then a
has to
canon.
stand on the ground, which
I
you
mean,
then really have to question because she's the smart one, right? So why would she put out a
a
cannon which she
canon
can
instead of a machine gun, right?
yes in a one-on-one fight? Wait, I will put my cannon here.
Exactly. I mean, we are in the 21st century. Who uses canon in
Yeah.
this like nowadays? No
Okay.
one. No one in a fight would
Yeah.
like build a cannon to, I don't know, shoot people. But a
Yeah.
machine gun is something that is like everybody would put out of like if they wanted to have one in a fight, they would
Yeah.
like
Or take out a rocket launcher. A
yeah.
rocket launcher who is going by
Exactly,
worms.
exactly.
By worms. What the heck? I mean, yeah, that's sometimes really strange. But yeah, Momo is the kind of cool character, but he's also making her. I always have the feeling she's kind of made weaker than she should be, at least according to her ability.
Hmm.
Yeah, there is different abilities where I would say they could be way stronger than they are made to be. Also
Yeah,
now,
that is the perfect example for that. Do you remember Darwin's Game, the
yes, yes,
anime?
yes,
So
definitely.
the main character in the anime, the manga, so the main character's power is exactly like
Ah,
Momo.
right. Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
exactly like Momo, and the guy is like the strongest guy ever. Like this
Exactly. Yeah.
fucking strong. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You're right. Yes. Yes. I remember. Yeah. Right. It's but how is it with Momo? Does she have to think? Did she have to see the stuff only? Did she have to touch it? I don't know. Is she perhaps she's a pacifist and she just doesn't know guns? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know
I
deadly
also
weapons.
Yeah, I also don't know the exact rules for her power, but I suppose that I don't know if she ever like come in touch with a canon to make it. So I suppose it's like that's not necessary, but maybe it's also about like complicated stuff because there is stuff that is more intricate to make. So maybe that's also something. But I have no idea. Maybe the manga can offer more stuff. So if you know this, if you know what is exactly the rule set of Momo, please put in the comments.
Yeah, let us
I
know.
would
Would
definitely
be
want to
interesting.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of the issue. But yeah, now I think the fifth season they start again with this. They start again with this kind of training arc now or tournament arc mixture
Hmm.
between it, right? And yeah, it's just like they have kind of this background story running, like but between Hawkeye and I don't know.
And in
Hawks, not Hawkeye. Hawkeye is from Marvel.
yeah.
And between Hawks and but oof, I don't know. I'm really curious where it will go to. And I really think they need now. So my hero for me really needs now, if it's not this season, at least the next season, some season like the season 3 again, where they really go a bit more again in society and showing what it is affecting there than just focusing on the shonen parts to not lose me because I'm still interested and I mean now my interest is different. I mean now I like all the characters, so you just watch it anyway. But yeah, it's definitely not that great anymore since the third.
Yeah, it's like you want something to bring the interest that you had in the second and third season, like when you were completely invested and the anime was at its peak. Yeah, I can definitely understand the feeling. I think that this season will be like because this season will be like 34, 25 episodes. So I think
Mm.
until the half of the season they will have this tournament training arc because every single episode is like one fight, right? Like one team against another, and the next. So there is like there will probably be more like 6 or 7 episodes of this because that's I think how many fights is left, and then in the second part there will be another arc. So I'm interested about the other arcs.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, I would also be interested in hearing about people who already read the manga, like from this point on, if they are like as invested as they are like in those new arcs as they were before, or how is the state of the manga right now? Because I have no idea about this. I also didn't read about this in the internet, but it would be a cool opinion to know what you expect for the next seasons.
But without spoilers, please.
Yeah, of course. Please don't spoil us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the at least the part with Endeavor and Shoto, that's kind of interesting. Still, kind of.
Hmm.
Shoto for me, for example, always has the feeling of kind of Sasuke, like uh,
Right.
silent genius, right? So
Uh-huh, yeah, the like the edgy character, and then he like, okay, I can be a bit nice and here and there, and I'm trying to change myself and etc. Yeah, it really gives some Sasuke vibes.
yeah, and also by his family being like one part of his family kind of was not nice to him, and he hates one part of his family, which is in this case the father, not the brother. But yeah,
Yeah, makes him
let's
a
see.
really interesting character.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
Shoto is cool.
he's a favorite for a lot of people. He's really like
It was so funny. I watched the first movie here in the cinema, and there were so many girls. Like every time when Shoto or Bakugo was doing something, they were all like, "Oh my god!" It was so cool.
oh, oh
It was so nice
man.
because it was for me the first time seeing other people who are also interested in my hero at that point. When the
Hmm.
first movie was there in the cinema, it was really cool. It was a really great atmosphere in the cinema. It was really nice.
That's cool.
I liked it a lot. And I was surprised, yeah, that there is really so many girls like totally
Yeah, there
crazy
is
about
really a lot of people into Shoto.
that. So who's your favorite character, would you say?
Yeah, my favorite character. This is a really difficult question because, as I said, the anime is not focusing in one character itself, but like showing you a lot of different characters and introducing like 10 characters per season even. But I think my choice here would be between either Bakugo or Momo. And I think I would go with Bakugo because especially of what happened in the second season when he was kidnapped. So like we said before, he showed a really strong will when he was kidnapped. He didn't even flinch. He didn't doubt for a moment that someone would come and save him, and he didn't even consider, oh, should I switch to the bad guy side? Should I really be a villain? Because the villain scouted him exactly because of the way he is. So they
Hmm.
really scouted, okay, sure, who should I kidnap? Maybe I can bring a hero to the villain side and tip the scales to our side. But Bakugo was completely focused on what he should do. So yeah, I think it would be Bakugo, my favorite character. And what about yours?
Yeah, I think so. Bakugo for me definitely is also one of the favorite characters. Um, I don't know. I think for me it still was like from the beginning, kind of Deku, like because of the beginning story and so on. It just always stayed with me being Deku, even though he's not the most interesting character, I would say. I mean, he's just a nice guy, right? But definitely the my favorite character, I would say, is All Might. Like he like this episode, and I mean, you see, oh my god.
Yeah. You can also just yeah, this guy.
This guy here. He was for me always my he since the third season, like when you realize, like, because he was always just depicted as, also for Deku, he was always a superhero, and he was always the strongest human in the world, the one he wants to be, and so on. And when you then think about how much pressure has to be on someone like All Might, and he's still smiling and still doing everything to make all the people around him proud and help them and also make them believe in him still, and not by bad will, but by knowing that it will help the people and will make the people stronger and will help the community. That was for me kind of mind blowing, because I never thought about heroes too much in that kind of way. I would say I was also more like Deku, saying like, hey, I love superheroes are so cool, I also want to be a superhero and so on. But when you think about the pressure, and I mean, you had this also in some Spider-Man movies, like the first one where the people were like against him, and he then only in the final fight realizes the people are with me and so on. But that was more about the people and him and so on. But this was kind of really about this personal pressure which this guy had, and how he deals with it was for me awesome. Yeah. So All Might, sadly now you don't see him that much. It's really a bit strange. They that is also, for example, one thing they could have also really killed All Might in the third season. To be honest, about. I mean, now instead they have him like still running around, and Deku saying, "Hey, I have this feeling. Do you know what this means?" And he's like, "No, I never had this." Ah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
Help me
yeah.
along.
It's so strange. I thought that okay, they let him live, so at least maybe he can still be a part of whatever. But exactly, he doesn't even have good advice to give to Deku anymore. I mean, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Yeah, it never happened to me. I cannot help you. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, definitely All Might took that place. But let's see how it goes on. I mean, now All Might most likely will not rise in the level where.
Yeah, yeah. He used the last of his strength in the All for One fight. So yeah.
Yes. Let's see. I don't know. Endeavor is okay, but so far, I don't know. He's more like self-pity and
Yeah, he's a
a bit too
controversial
much. It's
character.
kind of, yeah, it's kind of interesting, but still, it's also a bit too much of, oh, I want to be the number one, and I did everything wrong in my past, and so on. Instead of in the beginning, he was standing to everything he's doing, right? And
Yeah, he
now
has
he's
this
not anymore.
obsession with strength, and I think that's completely what drives him. Just his obsession for strength. And now he's realizing that there are other things in life as well, but still, I don't know, his personality is just.
Yeah, let's see. Perhaps it will be. I mean, they kind of focus on him now, right? So perhaps it
Mhm.
will be more
Yeah, maybe
interesting.
there are surprise. Now he's the number one hero, right? So.
Also curious about where they go with Hawks. He's definitely
Mhm.
an interesting character. From character wise, I like him. Let's see
Mhm.
what they will do with him. And also, to be honest, a lot of characters I like a lot are also from the League of Villains. So they are also really nice characters. And that's why I
Yeah.
also was a bit sad about overhaul suddenly, because it was suddenly also not about them anymore. Like you thought, okay, the what's his name? The guy with the hands. Oh,
It's Shogoroki
yeah, something like this, right? Um,
Shogaki Sho.
See, too many characters. We said
Exactly.
we should have put a list here with like all names so we don't forget them before. Too many characters. Yeah, but anyway, everybody knows who he is, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, he's also a really interesting character, and also he was, how was it? Like he's the son of the former uh All Might predecessor or something like this, if I
Like of
remember it correctly. That's why.
um I think All for One was the one raising him, right? Because he found him, I don't know, somewhere.
No, but All for One raised him on purpose because he knew that he was the son of the of the how you call it, of the senpai of All Might, basically. So the woman
Ah,
that trained All Might. So
uh-huh.
she,
Ah,
and
it's
I guess she
Shigaraki
was also
Tomura.
the, I think she was also the predecessor of All Might. So I think she's the one who gave All Might the power,
Mm-hmm.
the one for
Yeah.
all.
His name is Shigaraki Tomura.
Yeah,
I
exactly. So
found.
yeah, so those guys are also really cool, and they really have this vibe of the Phantom Troop of Hunter x Hunter. Like they are like some outcasts, kind of put together and try to survive in the society and kind of build this evil group. Um, yeah, so they're also kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think Um, yeah, I think the last topic didn't talk about yet is what are our expectations for the future? So, what would you like the story to go in which direction, or what do you
Yeah.
expect?
For me, what would I expect? I expect to see more like the fights getting in a bigger scale, like affecting the society and stuff like it was before, like bringing the society into the equation. I think the effects that the heroes and villains can have in the society is a really interesting topic, and that the anime was doing it very well. But now, yeah, we already have a tournament arc again, and etc. And even the previous season didn't really affect much what was happening in general. So, yeah, I really expect to see, okay, not anymore like new characters, but at least to see how the Deku can really become like the biggest hero ever, because they at some point they will need to bring him forward and bring him and make the society aware of him. So this is also something I'm really curious how how he will bring like Deku forward and like make the biggest hero. Yeah. I hope yeah, in general, I just hope the fights get a bigger scale. Like, I don't know, the League of Villains attacking a whole city or blowing up a whole city or whatever, because they are preparing for this, right? For a long time.
For a long
Like with,
time, and they
yeah,
prepared really
like
well.
with
No.
those, exactly. So like with those new normals, like this genetically modified normals that just appeared. So maybe they will make a like a really strong army and they will attack the heroes itself, and then you could have like an epic fight. Yeah, let's see. And what about yours?
Yeah, it's kind of the same. I really want the story to go forward. For example, really confused now by why they put now this one character back from it was the second season, right? The tournament where the first time Deku was talking with his predecessors of One for All. So this guy he was fighting against who could not read your mind, but control you kind of when you talk. So they brought him back now, and he's now joining these tournaments, training tournaments, whatever. And
Mhm.
I really, I don't know why they did this. Like, why do they put now like this emphasis on this character again? Like, don't you have enough characters? Why you have to put this guy in there now again? Like, why? I don't know. Yeah, I really hope they just don't think about him anymore, or they give him a really, really great story. And then I really just want the story to go forward with the villains we know, perhaps somebody else who helps them, whatever, but basically as main the villains we know, and as the good guys the heroes we know, and not 20 new other people. I mean, it's funny to see like all these new powers and so on, but at some point also the story has to move on, in my opinion. And yeah, if they make something cool with Endeavor, I think he definitely has potential, and Hawks as well. So they can definitely be like the new, not exactly the new All Might, but they can at least be some
The
some replacement.
cornerstone of the new
Yeah,
society.
exactly, and can be some replacement for him at least. But currently, they didn't even have contact with the other kids, right? So they didn't have any contact with the class. And
Mhm.
so I don't know if
Yeah,
they're important there then. So let's see. Perhaps they also kept All Might alive so they can kill him now and then start the new arc with that. That would be also a possibility, which would be perhaps quite nice. I don't know.
could be. But I'm still excited about what's coming next. Even though I think the quality was lower in the fourth season. I think in the fifth season it can really pick up the pace, and I'm really excited about what's to come. Let's see
Yeah.
what's coming. I'm actually excited about the second part because I think the first part is going only to be like this tournament and training and stuff. But I think the second part they can really bring something interesting. So
Yeah.
let's see.
And I mean, as much as we are hating about the fourth season, it
Hmm.
also had its moments. So the final fight with
Sure.
Overhaul, and when the sidekick from All Might died, and Miro lost his powers, that was kind of cool. And also the ending of the fourth season, I even liked a lot. Like when Endeavor was fighting against this Nomu and so on.
Hmm.
But also with this, what they take from it now is just that Endeavor starts trying to build more connection to Shoto again, but nothing that in the society they see, oh fuck, our biggest hero just lost against one of those stupid creatures, which were no issue
Which
for
is
All
like only
Might.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Nobody's thinking about that. No, instead it's now about Shoto and Endeavor again. So there, yeah, I hope that there is just more coming and they really build up the story and like not build up but start the story instead of doing the typical shonen thing. I mean, you can always do this in the shonen. There's no problem with just creating battles between anybody and you're happy about it and you can watch
Hmm.
it. But for me, I think My Hero is for me something more awesome and bigger than that. So I would expect My Hero really to rise again and become better again, instead of just focusing on general shonen elements, and also have a better story again.
I 100% agree. I could not put into better words.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's all, right? Or is there anything you want to mention? We didn't mention, by the way, anything about Mr. Gentleman. How is he called?
The Miso Gentleman, the
He said,
guy from the
what's he
first
called?
character from the
Yeah,
first season,
yeah.
fourth season. I think
What's
he's
he
not
called?
even worth to mention. Seriously, the character is that character is like it's just a. Is it a real word like a caricature? Like a I
I
don't know.
don't know.
It's like just a representation of something that shouldn't be there. Like, I mean, what's the point? Seriously, what's the point of that character? And like for 4 episodes or 3 episodes or whatever, I was just like, what the fuck is happening here?
He's advertising tea.
Yeah, that's the what that's the only thing he does,
Yeah,
advertising tea.
yeah. Oh yeah.
A
I kind
twisted
of
villain.
thought it was funny, but yeah, I don't know. If they would
Yeah,
have made him like becoming stronger and so on, I don't know if this would have worked. So it's okay what they
true.
did in the end. But yeah, this whole second part of the fourth season was really strange.
Yeah, I think the only thing we didn't talk about, and we can think it out at least a bit shortly, is the songs,
Oh right.
the soundtrack
Oh yes.
of My Hero Academia,
Oh, you're
and
right.
that's at least a point where I can definitely say that My Hero shines. Seriously, I
Totally.
really like. the every single song from My Hero Academia. Like the openings, the endings, they bring big names. That's something I didn't realize at first, but once I got to know like more like Japanese bands and stuff, I see that they bring like really big names into the openings and even the endings as well.
Yeah,
I really like the My Hero Academia songs.
totally agree. They have like the perfect shonen anime intro openings. That's so good.
Yeah. What's your favorite one? Do you know by heart? Like, do you have a favorite from My Hero? The My Hero openings? It's a bit of a hard question because My Hero has a lot of season and they have
Yeah,
a
they
lot of
have a
good.
lot of openings, right?
Yeah.
So I always liked the first one a lot. Um, but also there was one. What was yours?
Okay.
Let
Yeah,
me
I can
check
give you
shortly,
some
and then I
time to
can tell
think.
you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
mine is the second season. I think the third opening. Is it the third opening? Or is it the second? I think it's the third opening. No, the second opening, and it's from damn, I forgot about his name now. It's the Mazarashi, yes. So it's a
Mm,
Mazarashi. So this is a song that I got to know this singer from the My Hero Academia opening, and I went after this singer because of this opening, and I really like the guy and the songs he does, and I still listen to every song he puts out every 2 months or something. And this is really a song that marked me in My Hero Academia. It's called Sora ni Utaeba by Amazarashi. It's the second opening of the second season.
mm,
And yeah, that's definitely my favorite. But still, they have a lot of good openings. Like the first one that you just mentioned. There is also a peace sign from the
mm.
second season as well, which is by Kenshi Yonezu, which is also a very famous artist singer in Japan. So that's why I say that they bring big names. So they also brought Lisa for an ending. I think also in the second season, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
I,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, so my favorite one I just looked up
Okay.
is Odd Future by Uberworld. It's so awesome.
Yeah, that's also
I
really good.
like Uberworld in general. I was just recently I was looking at some live videos of them, and I was really surprised because they really have some guy playing the synth. They have the sax guy, so the same. Basically, it's the same guy who's also sometimes
Ah,
playing bass.
yeah.
Is he's playing bass? I'm not, but yeah, he's playing the keys. He's sing, and he also plays the saxophone. So they have this, and they have they are really a band. I thought like the stuff they do, they could not do with with a band like that, but they really don't play playback. They really play their songs live, and that was really awesome. Also, the singer, he had like because they have often this high effect voice, right, and then a normal singing voice,
Mhm.
and he also has the two microphones in his hand, and then he just puts in the one, and then he takes the other one. It was really cool.
That's so cool because it's like because of one microphone he has the effects, like
Yeah,
the effect on his voice, and the other one is like a normal one.
yeah,
Ah,
exactly. Really
wow, that's
nice.
that's another level. The guy is, I don't know, in 2050 or something. Wow.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I really saw like they are also a real band, so it made me love them even more. And for me, the Promised Neverland first opening from them is one of my favorite openings in general. And yeah, Odd Future is close to that one, so yeah, that's also one
Yeah,
of my
they
favorite
so they
openings.
are also a very famous band in Japan. They are really, really successful, and they are like singing anime openings since, I don't know, 10 years or something.
I think the first one I know was from Bleach.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the one also I got to know them. It was,
Yeah,
I think, the second opening of Bleach or
yeah,
third,
I
and
think so.
this is like 15 years ago or something, and they still keep the same quality
Yeah,
from 15 years ago, and that's crazy.
yeah,
That's really
really
crazy.
awesome.
So they have sax, they play the saxophone
Yeah,
in the in the in the
live one. Yeah,
in the
they
live
play live
concerts.
as
Wow,
concerts.
because yeah, that's something, because they always have like some sax in the in their songs, right? So
Yeah,
that's
basically the
cool.
guy who plays the synth and the keys, he's also playing the saxophone then sometimes in parts.
That's cool. So
Quite
would
cool.
you go watch a live concert of them?
You cannot go and watch live concerts right now. We have Corona, man.
Yeah, that's the
That's
right
the answer you
answer.
wanted to hear,
That's
right?
the right answer. Yes, you
Yeah,
pass.
I definitely would go. Once we're able to go again to concerts, I would definitely go. And I mean, we still planning to go to Japan anyway at some point. So why not
Uh-huh.
look if there is concerts? Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, where do you see My Hero compared to the other shonen animes right now? I mean, it's definitely one of the biggest ones, right? Um, for me, because for me, I don't know, I started My Hero kind of a bit late, at least when you told me to watch it. Okay, not that late. I mean, it was before
Hmm.
the third
I
season,
think it
I
was the
think.
third season,
Still,
right? Or
I
something.
think the third
No, no,
season.
it wasn't the fourth season, because I remember the third I watched it in Brazil yet, so I didn't come
Ah,
here to
okay,
Germany.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But the fourth season was not out yet when I finished the third.
Hmm.
Um, and I I don't know. For me, it was like the first anime which was after, like, at least shonen ones, which was like after this typical shonen stuff, Naruto and so on, with all those filler episodes and so on. So it really felt like a cool breeze for me. I don't know if it's just my feeling or if there was anything else in between there, which was like close to that, but I think this was like the first, at least for me, the first shonen which like started this, that there can be an anime which is not like has to have every week an episode, and where the story at some point becomes, yeah, not so thought through, and where you just have to make an episode because you have to make an episode for the next week, and where the quality really sometimes drops highly and then goes up, but always keeps a really high level of quality. Nowadays we have more. I mean, we have Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, but it's kind of for me then in between there, kind of this transition kind of.
Yeah, for sure. I think, for example, Fairy Tail was in the same uh time that My Hero was still like in the first season, and Fairy Tail was still like was doing fillers and stuff, and Fairy
Mm,
Tail is also really, it was really popular, so it was a
yeah.
different path that they took. So I think you're right. Book My Hero Academia was one of the first animes to do this, separate into a shonen anime, which separating those different seasons instead of like milking it since the start to the finish. But yeah, what makes me like My Hero Academia also is the pacing that it has. The especially the first and the second season. The pacing is really fast. There is a lot of stuff happening over in every single episode. So it hooked me up since the first episode. It really hooked me up. And it's just like a lot of stuff happening, and you're like, wow, this is awesome, and this is evolving so much, and you can definitely see the characters growing into 12 episodes or 13 episodes in the first season. Like, you start with Deku as nothing, and then you finish with him like, yeah, entering the academy and already having a good like results and stuff. You can see the anime evolving, and I think it can really be compared to the most popular animes right now. I think it's not so big because it's more popular in the here in the West than in the Japan as well.
Mm,
Because I don't know why, but I can just think that it's because of the whole hero thematic, because maybe it's the hero team is not so strong in Japan, but in here it definitely is, because of all the Marvel movies. You can see from the Marvel movies and
yeah,
comics,
totally.
and we grew up thinking about wanting to be like superheroes and stuff, and I imagine that in Japan is a bit different because they have different um the kids have different figures that they look at, like Ultraman and I don't know, something like this. This is just my
Triplan.
imagination. I'm not 100% sure. I'm taking this out of my ass. So
Yeah, I
uh,
think you're right, to be honest, because it's kind of using this Western imagination of heroes and try to put it to some Eastern, like more Asian way, kind of. Also in the Asian society, kind of. So yeah, I think that's kind of right. Yeah.
so I really think it can be compared to the best shonens out there, uh, like the new ones like Naruto and Bleach and even Dragon Ball, because yeah, it's hard to talk about those old shonens because they are like
Mm,
in a level above everyone else. But if you talk about the new shonens like Jujutsu Kaisen, Fairy Tail, or Naruto or Demon Slayer, even they My Hero Academia is it doesn't ashame himself over them. So he really stands his position over
mhm.
all. He's definitely in the top part of the shonen shelf.
Yeah.
That's my view. And
Yeah, I think
what
I
do you think?
agree. Yeah, I think I totally agree. I mean, I like it a lot, and for me, it's also one of the. I mean, Deku is standing there with Goku and Naruto, right? So kind
Yeah,
of
so it's
fitting.
the
It's
Holy
kind of the.
Trinity, right?
Yeah. If you,
Dragon Ball,
if,
Naruto, and My Hero Academia, the Holy
yeah, okay.
Trinity.
There is perhaps there is Luffy missing, but,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's more the Trinity. For me, would be more Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and My Hero Academia. The problem for me is always there is always Attack on Titan as well, but
Yeah.
even so, Attack on Titan is a shonen. For me, Attack on Titan is really different compared to Demon Slayer, My Hero, and Jujutsu Kaisen. So those three fit way better together, I think, than adding Attack on Titan there. I think Attack on Titan is perhaps an own class of its own. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's way more adult
Yeah.
than the others. Attack on
Uh,
Titan has definitely more adult than the others. So
yeah.
yeah, completely agree.
Yeah. Perhaps like Death Note. I mean, nobody would say it's Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Death Note. It's Dragon Ball, One Piece,
Right,
and Naruto, right? And then
right,
there is Death Note. So perhaps Attack on Titan is that one. Yes.
sure.
Okay, cool. Then I think we said everything we want to say about My Hero and about everything else.
Hmm.
Was great to have some talks again.
Yeah, it was a different episode, and I really liked the structure of this one. When we just talk about one anime for as much time as we wanted, because we usually think about, okay, let's make this a short episode, let's make this a long episode or something. But in this one, we just said, yeah, let's just talk about whatever we want to talk about, and just we see.
Yeah, because in the end
And I
we
really
always
like the
fail.
structure.
Put it there.
Exactly. There is no planning. Okay, let's plan 30 minutes and then it's 1 hour. Let's plan 1 hour, it's 2 hours. So yeah, let's not
Yeah,
plan.
just talking too much. Cool. Yeah, then let us know if you also like this way of doing the episodes or if you rather want to have shorter episodes again. I mean, we definitely want to do now some shorter episodes about the currently running animes. That's kind of what we want to do next. And then let's see what our next special would be about. I really would like to not completely rewatch Dragon Ball, but at least rewatch Dragon Ball partially, like some parts of it, and then talk about it, how it feels right now compared to the new stuff, because for me that's kind of interesting. I mean, Dragon Ball is for me like, and I
Yeah,
guess for
that's
you the same, right? It's the starting point for everybody. Okay,
yeah,
for
for
me the
sure.
starting point was Sailor Moon, but I didn't know that it's an anime at that point. So
Yeah.
still was Dragon Ball, I
Yeah,
would
for me
say.
it was definitely the Dragon Ball. And I think yeah, you're right. It would be a very interesting episode of content that we can bring.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see what we will do next. Let us know what you would like to hear about. Please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe to us. We're always happy when we see we get new subscribers
Hmm.
and like our video.
Yeah. So yeah, our tags in every single social network is Anikami Podcast, everything together. So yeah, if you want to get in touch with us and yeah, send us your thoughts in social media or also in the comments in the video. So feel free to approach us and yeah, give us your opinion on this video and suggestions. We would be really happy to hear you.
Exactly. Yeah, it was great. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
it
Have
was
a
great.
nice
So
day.
thank you guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye.